Bonsoir, everybody. Bienvenue. Je m'appelle Huw, and welcome back to the Top 14 Digest. This is your weekly, short-ish podcast capturing all of the news and results in the mad world of French rugby, and most importantly, getting up to date on all of the gossip. I am not on my own. I am joined, as always, by my co-host from the Atlantic coast, Madame Maz Mac. Bonsoir, Maz.
Bonsoir, Hugh. How are you?
I'm very well. We've been complaining about the cold. I thought it was cold
Yeah.
over here in the UK, but tell people how cold it is in France right now.
Zero, where I am. Zero. A big fat zero. Nil point.
So that's why there's no rugby jersey for Maz this week.
No, exactly. Because I've discovered I don't have a rugby jersey with long sleeves, and the short sleeves were just not doing it. So I went, no.
No. And you're wearing a colour in tribute of a team this week, but we'll come on to that later. So it's a hybrid show this week. So
Mm.
we've got international test rugby, but we've also got top 14. Now, this show, for people who are new or those who have joined us since the international season started, we are normally a top 14 show. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off talking through the results of the top 14. Then we're going to talk through the France game. And then we're going to go back to talking through more top 14. So if you're watching on YouTube or even on Spotify, I think you can use the chapters to navigate to the bit that you're interested in if you'd like to. Or what I'd prefer you do is you stick around and you watch/listen to the whole thing. I would be really grateful if you did that. Anyway, let's get talking about the scores on 14 in round 10 of the top 14. It was a Friday night game between UBB and Section Palois to kick us off. And my goodness, what a thriller. 33 points to 34, Maz. I told you Po were going to win the league.
Yeah, you did indeed. You certainly did. And for a neutral, that was an extremely entertaining game to watch. As a UBB fan, yes, so. But anyway, you know the gif of Eddie Jones where he's kind of throwing his microphone around and throwing. It was very, very much like that. Shay Maz on Friday night at about 10:30. I was going.
Old Yannick on the sideline never gives very much. UBB coach Yannick Brew, he never really gives away very much.
No, he doesn't, but he was not happy afterwards. He's quite a cool customer on the line. But it was a very entertaining game. There was some fantastic tries scored. Poe had 0 penalties in the second half. And that tells you one thing. They totally dominated the high ball over UBB, totally dominated them. It was, which is a bit weird. This also goes to tell you, 5 tries to Bordeaux and 3 tries to Pau. So discipline for Bordeaux was a huge problem.
Because that was the thing, isn't it? Because Poe
Yeah.
obviously are without Joe Simmons, who is their talisman, their number 10 and things. And yet the guy, I can't remember his name, stepped up and nailed loads of shots at goal.
Yeah, and he missed a few as well. I think he missed a few conversions and 1 or 2 penalties. But it was the usual thing. And the last 5 minutes, I do not know how many times I was like, on the 5-meter line in the last 5 minutes, UBB knocked on, they lost lineouts, they just did it all in the last 5 minutes. And you just kind of go, yeah. But Paul, yeah, full credit. Yeah, they've got some team, don't they? They really have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely players, yeah.
I'm enjoying them this season very much.
Yeah, very much
Back to
so.
the scores. Lyon beats Clermont handily in the early kickoff on Saturday, 43 points to 24. Not tons to say about that game. Racing thrashed Bayonne away from home, 47 points to 27. Some big scorelines this weekend, but not
Yeah,
so much
huge.
not so much in the next game though. 17 points to 19. Now we'll talk about this one a little bit later.
Mm.
Maz, we'll come back to La
Yeah.
Rochelle, Rogers La Rochelle, 17-19 defeat at home to Cass. In
Woo.
the what do you call this derby? Montauban versus Toulouse. What's the name of that derby? The
Well, they didn't have a derby before. Well, because the derby with Toulouse is normally against Cast.
ah,
Montauban is only 100 kilometers away, so it's a little bit closer. So this isn't part of the Derby days. When you go back to the Derby days, that will be again against Cast. So it was just, it is a Derby, but not an official Top 14 Derby. If you get,
no.
yeah, that weird kind of thing that goes out there. And yeah. Oh, there was three doublés in this match, by the way, as well. Teddy Tom,
Three.
he
Yep.
got, yeah, Delib and Mathieu Lebel. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got, yeah.
Well, congratulations, Stade Toulouse, on yet another win.
Yeah.
Perpignan nilled at home. I always say that a nilling at home should be immediate refunds to all season ticket holders. Nilled at home, USAP to Montpellier, 28-0. Oh dear, more on them a bit later. And then in the Sunday night 14, which I actually quite enjoyed in the end, Stade Francais beating Toulon, 51 points to 24. Stade Francais still kind of back. I mean, let me just have a quick look at the table. Obviously, Toulon have been
They're,
riding high, but Stade Francais have gone
yeah,
above them now. 30 points beats
yeah,
29, third and fourth. And in the end, Maz, they got the bonus point in a thrilling fashion in overtime. Cool
yeah,
game.
yeah, it was. It wasn't bad at all. But again, it's this going back to this thing of you've got two teams that are quite near each other. It's the same thing as Racing and Bayonne and Stade Francais and Toulon. They're quite close to each other. You shouldn't be taking like that kind of a hammering away from home. And it's this, I know it's the Doublons, Racing, not Racing, Toulon, not so much affected. But this is a very odd thing. They had two players in the stand. They had Baptiste Saran and they had Gail Drian, who
Hmm.
were part of what they call them the reservists. These are the players, I think it's the 5 or 7 of them that sit in the stand. The game, the France game was Saturday night. This was a Sunday night game, but they're not released until midnight on the Sunday night. So even though they were sitting in the stand, they weren't allowed to play on the Sunday night. It's one of these really odd rules. And you're in Paris for a start off. It's not like you
Yeah.
have to travel 2 stops down the metro or whatever. And yeah, not allowed because you're not released, even though you haven't played any rugby. Mm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't figure it. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, neither can I. C'est French. C'est
Mm.
French. So
Yeah.
that's the update on the top 14. We shall talk more top 14 in a bit, but we're now going to switch focus to talk about what would normally be our game of the week, which would be a top 14 match. We are instead going to talk about the France game, France versus Australia. What's French for Australia?
Australia.
Okay.
See, don't you watch Eurovision?
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, so I'm going to bring up some window dressing for the viewers. A comfortable enough-ish kind of win for France. What was the score in the end? It
It
was
was 48-33.
48-33. So
And I
two
think the
score win.
best, yeah, I think the best headline, there's been various headlines from different things I saw, was perfectly imperfect. And you kind of went, yeah, that actually sums it up. It was perfectly imperfect.
What's the reaction been like? So is this, are people saying that this is France getting better? Are people saying that no, this is we're not actually that impressed? What's the vibe been like?
It's quite mixed because they were very happy to see that tries were being scored. They're still very concerned about the discipline, very concerned about the discipline. And they're saying the defense is porous, is a lot of, yeah, porous, I think is probably the
30,
closest translation I can
33
get.
points conceded will not please Sean Edwards.
No. And this is the thing, as I said last week, it's the first time I saw his name actually ever coming up as being questioned on things, So it was questioned again a bit this week. Again, the high ball, the defense being the weak point. Discipline is another thing. And again, Galti coming out and saying they were a better team 4 years ago. Yeah, this kind of carry on. But they were very, very happy with the tries that were scored, the manner that they were scored. But it was quite a good game. And I certainly didn't expect it to be 19-19 at half time. That was something I didn't see happening.
It,
But
it
yeah,
it was certainly one for the neutral. I wasn't fully neutral. I was pulling for France more than I was pulling for Australia. It's more that because we do this podcast, I know the players quite well, so I was more pulling
yeah,
for the individual players than I guess France
yeah,
in total. Um,
yeah.
but it's
God,
it's kind of it was all right. I think it was an imperfect performance. I think the players were giving away kind of daft penalties, especially in the first half, where the referee was like, lads, Luke Pearce, the referee, who I like, was like, lads,
Yeah,
these are just stupid penalties. Because it was like hands in the rug, barging off the ball, late hits and stuff. It's like,
it
we'd had
wasn't
a
the
day
fluid.
of seeing crazy number of cards given out, and people are giving out to referees. But when players are doing things this stupid, like it's
Mm,
not the referee's fault.
yeah, and it wasn't fluid, and it wasn't any fault of Luke Pearce, as you said. And Luke speaks a bit of French, and he's great with the players, and the players seem to have great communication with him. It just wasn't fluid. It was very stop starty. But both sides scored good tries, and for all that France will say we are missing big players through injury, Australia can say exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So uh,
I think
that
if we
doesn't come into the equation there at all. So,
hmm,
yeah, I think perfectly imperfect was probably, I just like that.
it was if we get into the kind of the stats, I would say that the stats back up my feeling, which is what I messaged you during the game, was just that this was the most typical French performance of the autumn so far, just with the exception of how many points they conceded. I mean, I'll show you this. This is just ridiculous. This is the points flow chart. As you can see, they just took
Mm,
turns in scoring. I think the only time a team went back to back scoring was France in the 70th minute. Other than that, it
mm,
was just you score, we'll score, you score, we'll score.
yeah,
Um, but what kind of makes
because
it go on?
because Australia scored first, didn't they? Yeah,
Is
yeah, they
it?
scored after 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What mean by typically French, if you look at the attacking stats, um, the number of carries they made, 88. Number of kicks is quite low, 18 each. But I think that's kind of Australia kind of having the influence there. Number of rucks, 59. Just if I go to the possession and territory, France not having very much possession, so they only had
Mm,
47% possession, but they had 54% territory. And if you look where their possession was, over 70% of it in Australia's half. This is very typical France kind of stats. Not much
mhm,
ball in play, not many phases at all. Just kind of more them. But I kind of even felt that it wasn't really until the second half that they started playing like them. And what I noticed, which was interesting, was that Galtier left going to the bench until quite late. It wasn't until well gone the 60th minute, in fact, I'll check, that he
mm,
actually started bringing the bulk of the subs on. Contrast
yeah,
to recent times when he's gone to the bench quite early. I mean,
yeah,
okay, I've got it here. Look, I'll bring it up for the people, for all of the beautiful people to have a look at. Um,
because we said the last time that he brought the subs on too early.
yeah. And now if you look at the forward subs, Labam squad,
Yeah,
64th minute, 64th minute, 64th minute, 64th minute, 64th
yeah,
minute. Jegu
yeah,
came on in the 15th for an HIA, I think, but
yeah.
he he ended up being the top tackler in this game, interestingly.
Mm.
Genu came on the 73rd minute, Gorge. I keep wanting to call him Georges, but I think it's actually Gorge.
No, do you know that he's gorge? He's a bit, how can I say it? If you say Gorz, gorge,
Jaws.
yeah, something like that.
Gorge.
Yeah,
Yes.
gorge,
Okay.
gorge. Yeah.
Okay.
And some people have it with the kind of sh at the end, and some people don't. And that's on French commentary as well. So I'm kind of just going, okay.
Whatever. Obviously, he got his big moment in the middle of the game as well, which obviously people are
Yeah.
very excited about. But for me, Maz, there's two players we've got to talk about from a France point of view. One is, I mean, you can't not talk about him when it comes to French rugby, not just in this game, but for 2025 in total. And I'm going to bring up his stats now for this game. Louis Bielle-Biarrey. Since we last recorded, Maz, nominated for World Player of the Year,
Mm,
record-breaking try scorer in the Six Nations of all time. And by
mm.
the way, two tries, two try assists in this game, including incredible solo efforts. I don't think many people could have argued if he'd have been picked as World Player of the Year for me, in my opinion.
No, they couldn't. And he was the only candidate from the Northern Hemisphere, wasn't he? Yeah, he
He
was.
was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he is very, his tries are very flamboyant and very opportunist, and he's a fantastic player. And we've got to remember how young this guy is. He's only
22.
22. And he actually said, um, oh God, what day were we? Tuesday. Did you say before the game or just after the game? He said, so if I don't score a try in a match, is it the end of the world? There's that, he must be feeling that there's that much pressure on him that you've got to score every time you go out in the field.
That's interesting that he
Yeah,
said that
yeah,
suggests that he is starting to feel a little bit of pressure. But
yeah.
if you look at this try, like his second try, the early celebration. To be fair, Gorge was celebrating early
Yeah,
as well. Gorge threw the pass and kind of was celebrating the try before Louis Bielle-Biarrey even caught it.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes you see those early celebrations go sometimes disastrously wrong, but not normally with
Yeah, like
him.
in the under 20s match in the Six Nations.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it was I found that very telling when he said, so I don't score a try in every game. You know, is it the end of the world? No, it's not. And he's a young player, and not that he needs to be protected. Protected isn't the word, but that's an awful lot of pressure on somebody who's done so much in every year at such a young age. And they're going, oh, when he finishes his career will last another 8, 9 years. Can you imagine all he score? But you don't know what's going to happen. And
What
yeah,
what I think you also have to kind of bear in mind as well is it's not just the scores that he's getting. He's getting assists as well. He's coming in and being a playmaker. We've seen him play
oh,
15 for UBB. I don't think it's his
yeah,
best position. I think his best position is wing.
yeah.
But like I said, 2 try assists, and he's doing try assists and getting these moments as well. This unbelievable chip. I actually don't think that that's exactly what he meant with that chip. I think it kind of happened, and it's gone a little bit high
Yeah,
and a little bit short than what he was expecting, but he's made it work anyway. But
yeah.
and then just the step to finish it off. Poor old Tane Edmund never got anywhere near him. But
No, yeah. And
the
he also said he's working very much on the high ball as well. He felt that was a part of a weak thing of his game. And I don't think he means as in the French team when they're going around with these kind of,
hmm,
foam sticks. Um, yeah, what can you say about him? It's just like beep, beep. There you
yeah,
go. Yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
think the thing that's cost him World Player of the Year in the end is the whole French not going into the Southern
Yeah,
Hemisphere in the summer
yeah.
thing. I think that will have
But
been.
I can't argue with the person who got it. I just can't. He's been just, yeah,
Yeah,
against
yeah,
France and against Ireland. I don't know what way, I don't know what way it's taken from. I'm not huge into these competitions. Um, but I couldn't really argue much against who got it,
I
Really.
think in terms of wingers though,
Oh, yeah,
he's the best in the world, and that's nothing
yeah,
to say against the likes of Cheslin Colby, Curtly Aronson, or his own teammate Damien Penaud. I love
yeah,
when you're watching them both for UBB and for France when you see both stacked together on the same wing.
yeah,
You're like, "Ooh, something's going to happen," and it always does.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, I've told you about this before at a game. You can literally see it going to happen. And because where I sit, my seat is either they're going to score the try there or they're going to start the run. And you can see them looking and you just know something is going to happen. You can see it. And I suppose that's the whole thing of playing together for a while and training together and being comfortable. But yeah, no, it's lovely to see.
yeah,
Well done,
abs
LBB. Yeah.
but another guy we got to talk about, Maz, is for all of this time, we've been thinking there's one problem position in the French team where someone, for God's sake, needs to grab the jersey by the scruff of the neck and say, "This is my jersey now." And it feels like, Maz, it's finally happened. The problem position was the number 13, and Nicolas Deporter, that jersey is yours, my friend.
Yeah. But I've been telling you about him for what now? About a year, saying just how good he is and watch this guy. He's going to get better and better. And I think I might even have said to you last year, he'll be captain of the UBB team within about 2 years. By the time he's 25, he's going to be captain of that team. Absolutely. I adore him. One of my profile pictures was the kind of he does in the stadium. They have these posters of players that you can go get your photo taken off, and it's a big heart thing. I had that for ages as my profile picture. I adore Nico Deporte. I adore him. So
Well,
I
what
am so happy,
was
so happy
born in
for him.
2003, was it? He's 22.
He's is he 22, 22, 23? Oh, he's one of those borderlines. Is he January? He's yeah. There's
We'll
a
say
load of
he
them
is.
all about. Yeah, he's
Let us
22.
let let us know in the comments down below how old he is. We're too
Mm.
busy podcasting to Google it. So yeah, and for my stat of the week is that he's got 4 tries in his last 2 games. 2 starts,
Yeah,
4 tries. That's pretty good. And there was the
yeah.
one where he got the intercept and rang the length as well, and he didn't hear Lou Pierce's whistle. And he goes over the line,
No,
grounds the
no.
ball, kisses the ball, chucks it away, lies there, and then he realizes it's been chalked out. And then you just see in the background, you just see a camera get right in his face,
No,
right in his
I
face.
know. Uh, and there was a lovely moment with his parents after the game as well. And his mum was just in bits. She was crying so much she couldn't actually hug him almost. So yeah, he's a good guy. I've been beating his drum now for about 18 months, 2 years. I've adored him a
Well, now
lot.
France need Moafana back because if Moafana's going to be the 12, and then that's the UBB connection, and you're absolutely laughing.
Yeah, and Mo Fan is classed it now, isn't he? He's what is he? 25. That's it. It's okay.
He's yesterday's news, Maz. He's absolutely yesterday's news. Anyway, that brings to the end the France talk. We should be having more Top 14 talk after the break, but before we do, uh, just want to remind everybody that if you're enjoying the show so far, please consider subscribing to this here YouTube channel. I'm on my quest for 10,000 subscribers. I would love to get there by the end of December. It'll be tough, but I'm going to try. There's loads of content coming your way in December. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at my schedule for December, and it's absolutely insane. There's going to be more podcasts. There's going to be more match vlogs. There's going to be more data analysis. I can't wait. So, or if you're listening on Spotify, you can subscribe on Spotify. I think I'm over 300. I'm going for 350. I can't be bothered to check. Let's say I'm targeting 350 followers on Spotify. You can leave a comment on Spotify as well, or just subscribe on Apple if that's where you're listening to. I really appreciate everybody who's joining me along for the journey. Okay, Maz, let's get back to Top 14 action, and let's do it in style with our Le Gossip of the week. It's been a little while, Maz. He's been quiet. He hasn't given us much to talk about, but he's back with a vengeance. It's your friend and mine from Cork,
Yeah.
Ronan O'Gara. What has he done this week?
Well, as we said earlier on, La Rochelle were beaten at home by Cast, which neither of us in our predictions saw that happening at all. And it was the manner of their beating that I think it was 17-19. So La Rochelle was 17 and Cast were 19. At one stage, Cast had 3 yellow cards at the one time. So that gives you a kind of an indication of it was very much a card for you and a card for you and a card for you. And normally, Rog, to be fair to him, he will, after a match, no matter how badly they play, he'll come out and he'll say, look, it's on me. I'm the trainer of the team. Everything comes back to me. And he's always been like that. And to his credit, that's all. Oh, no, not this time. He did an 18-minute press conference, apparently, which is quite long.
That's long for him. Gosh.
Yeah, because normally it's like 5, 6, and, that kind of 18 minutes he did. But he really riled me up because he got stuck into one of the local players here that comes from my town. He actually named 2 players, which is very unlike him. And he named the prop Alexandre Kudari, who's quite young. He's 21, 22. Oh. And he said the reason he was picked is because he had exceptional games beforehand. And he has played really well. He said, but you have exceptional games, you give people praise, and they get a big head. He actually said, on prendre le melon, which is like you get a melon head, which means you get a big head. And then when you get that, then you start to make mistakes and you get overconfident and blah, blah, blah. So that was that. The other one he got stuck into was Antoine Hostoy, the number 10, the fly half.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. And he said that he's a work in progress.
What? He's like 48, isn't he? Well, I know he's not really, but...
I don't know what age he is. I would imagine he's about 28, 29. Is this his 2nd or 3rd season at La Rochelle? A work in progress. He played at Pau beforehand. And I know when he was at Pau, he was a great kicker there. He seems to have Gone. Yeah. So Rog had a bit of quite a moment. They're away. This is, I know we do our predictions at the end of the show, but they're away to Po. And he said, if the team continues like this, it's going to be a demolition. And his eyes were literally hanging out of his head. And you know, he's got big eyes anyway. Yeah, and I've never seen him before give out on players. So there you go, Rog. What can we say? 18 minutes of Rog having a rant.
And extra from this game is our Did You See That of the week? The player gave Monsieur Referee a little shove.
Yes, in the 73rd minute, Thomas Lebolti's, is he the second row or third? I think he's second row. Going towards, I reckon, around the 22, something like that, going for a ruck, and a very, very obvious push. 2 hands in the back. And Pardery was the referee. He went on his backside, on his derriere, as you might like to say. And I think the referee was a kind of a bit, and it took a minute for him to kind of go, stop this game. And then I think the TMO came in and went, yeah. But it was completely stupid.
Well, the TMO came in and just said, that bloke's just pushed you over, mate.
Well, I think it happened so quickly that the ref knew something happened. But you know, sometimes the ref gets involved and falls over. It happens a lot on the top of the tours. But this was such a blatant 2-hand push. The referee, the TMO must have had a quick look at it and went. It was also stupid because they were about 22 metres out. They were attacking. And he got a yellow card and a penalty against him, and off you go. And that was the end of that. It was so bizarre.
What a numpty, honestly. Of all the problems in the world, of all the things that you got to deal with, and you just go around pushing referees. You can't be doing that.
Yeah,
anyway, and then we're on to our Fanny of Le Week, Maz. Fanny being the French word for the team that had been nilled. It can only go to one team, and it's the team that's picked up Le Fanny of Le Week more often than any other team.
Yeah.
Perpignan. It's not getting any better.
No, it's not. And there were so many things in this game. Their home game against Montpellier?
Yep.
Yeah, Montpellier wasn't even played in Perpignan because of restrictions that they had from various things that went on. It was played in Béziers. I believe it couldn't be played in Narbonne, which is closer, because this is quote unquote. Certain players are not allowed within a 20-kilometre radius of Narbonne. And that's not USAP players, by the way. It's the opposing team.
Mon Dieu.
Not even going into that one. So they weren't even playing at home. Zero. New staff-ish coming in. It was the first game after they came in just before the 2-week break. Lauren Labbe, who had been at Stade Francais before, Joe Worsley, and I can't remember the third. And apart from the fact that they didn't score, it also got, after the game, he's not known to mince his words either. He's a bit like Rog Labbe, and he said, look, he said, okay, you can take the staff and all the training staff into account so much, but at the end of the day, the players also have to be taken into account. And he actually named Pasolo Tuilagi, who went off injured, and then I don't know how bad that is, but he said he went off on a 2-week break and got back 6 kilos heavier, and you can't be at that. They're not serious. So there you go. That's so there's lots of fannies within the fannies there, if you know what I mean.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, very bizarre.
And then
last time we're saying that, I don't think, for them. Yeah.
And then quickly before we go to the next break, you just wanted to quickly mention the Elite One.
Yes, the Girls' League. Females, ASM, which is Clermont. They're top of the league. They're 1 point ahead of Toulouse, and Bordeaux, I think it's about 4 or 5 points behind, is it? Something like that. Yeah.
So Bordeaux are 8 points behind Toulouse.
8 points? Is it that much?
Yeah. They had a bad start to the season, lost their first 3.
Yeah, they did. They didn't make a great start. They did not make a great start at all. And I saw an interview quite recently too with Morgane Bourgeois, who said, how can you attract people to the league if you pay them €250 a month? Well, she had a very relevant point, didn't she? and they're getting the French women coaches are being picked. Is it next week, I think, or the week after that? So,
Oh yeah, this is where the current coaches were invited to interview for their own jobs.
yeah. But something needs to change. Now, I know AXA have come behind them and they're getting a bit more money. They're a big insurance company, but it still needs more. It still needs a lot more to be going on there. So, yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well,
Yeah, I'll get more television coverage as well. I think it's next
what?
week. Montpellier and Bordeaux are on the television. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
actually quite a big game, isn't it? Because Montpellier, they're like the two teams that have won the most titles or something.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Clermont have
And
won a lot, I
Montpellier, I
think.
think, are only a point or two behind them. So, yeah.
I
So
thought there was
that'll
going
be
to be a
good.
game this weekend. Someone said it was on Canal Plus, but I checked and it wasn't there.
It's on, we call it's TV7 here. The Canal Plus are normally just before a night game.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah. But they are actually shown on normal TV, a few more games, which is good as well. So at
Yeah.
least people are getting to see it.
It is good. And what else is good is our ticket giveaway competition. Excellent
Yay!
transition there. So, a reminder, we are giving away one ticket, un ticket, unticket.
Yeah, because Mads made a bit of a
To UBB versus Scarlets on the 13th of December. So, not long now, 3 weeks. And this is the last time we're going to advertise that we're doing this competition. In order to win this ticket, all you have to do is comment down below, either on Spotify or on YouTube, telling us your best interaction with a rugby player away from a rugby match. So somewhere out in the wild, you've met them. The most interesting and bizarre story wins. At the moment, the leading candidate that we have is a man who bumped into Duhan van der Merwe in a Sainsbury's. And the man in question was South African, and he was wearing a South African hat. And Duhan van der Merwe said, I shall get you a Scotland hat. So there you go, all the haters. Duhan is properly Scottish after all, and he even is being the police of people's hats in Sainsbury's.
Oh, that is a cool story, isn't it?
That is a
Yeah,
cool story. So if you
yeah.
can beat that, you can win yourself a ticket to a Champions Cup game, no less, because the Scarlets are in the Champions Cup, because we always are. Don't check. Um, and a reminder as well that if people would like to support the channel even more, if you're still listening, you're clearly enjoying it at least a little bit. So if you'd like to support the channel a little bit more, you can get membership for just 99 pence a month. I keep saying 99 pence a month, Maz. I did click the link myself the other day and it did say £1.49, but I've set the price to 99p, so maybe YouTube is being daft. But if you do go for that, not only will you be helping the channel a little bit more financially, but you'll also get access to weekly bonus videos that you won't find anywhere else, where I drop some of my hottest and most candid takes on my membership videos. And I'm very much appreciative to anybody who takes me up on that offer. Last section of the show, Maz, the quick section. Most importantly of all, we must begin it with the Fijian of the week. Who are you giving it to this week?
Yeah, I was struggling a bit because of the top couture, and there were quite a few of them who had decent games and things like that. But in the end, I went with the actual Fijian team, and I went with Elia Kanafakata. He's their number 7. He's a kind of
Probably
a
the
utility
hardest name
player.
to say in the whole of the Fijian team.
um, I know. There's quite a few difficult ones. I struggle with a few of them, I have to say. But he scored the first try and they needed it so badly. It was the 23rd minute. He scored the first try because Spain were playing more like Fiji than Fiji were. And actually, it was as a Fiji fan, I was a bit also like watching UBB. I was throwing things around, but it was a highly entertaining game. It really
It was a very typical Fiji last game of the year against a lower ranked opposition. This will be fine, lads. Just check it around. Oh, wait. It's 20 minutes to go and we're losing.
Yeah,
But they did manage to rescue it in the end.
yeah,
So I guess that's kind of
yeah.
progress.
Yeah. It's Fiji does what Fiji does, but I do like him because he's not that long playing 15s as well, because he's a sevens player. He's one of these sevens players come into Drua, and he only got his debut against Georgia last year. So, and he's had quite difficult family circumstances while he was playing rugby. So, and I like him, and he's a unit. And Elia, I won't say it that often because you're not on the top guitars. Hopefully one day we'll see you at UBB. I could love to see him. He's my Fijian of the week.
Yeah, absolutely for sure. Okay, let's get into the predictions for round.
Mm.
Oh, I was going to say German then. German is elf.
Ons.
Ons of the Top 14. Uh, round 11 for those who don't speak French. And it starts on Saturday afternoon, the 1:30 kickoff UK time between Montpellier and UBB. Oh, Maz, you're a little bit worried.
Because you have this thing as well, the internationals are over. Some of the international players have to be rested. So UBB, I think, are getting back Luco, Lamotte. They're definitely not getting Penno. They're definitely not getting LBB. There's a question mark over Deporter. Montpellier at home. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking it.
No, I think Montpellier might get this one.
I'm not liking that at all. Anyway, next.
Next, Clermont versus Stade Francais. Proper top
Yes.
14 this.
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon into the 3:35 kickoffs or 4:35 if you're in France. Clermont at home, Maz, I'm going to have to give it to them.
I am too. But this could be proper scrumming time, couldn't it? Because yeah, both scrums and both packs are giving it a lot this year. So this could be proper scrum time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fairmont, I think, at home, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Bayonne versus Lyon. No need to think about this one. Bayonne never lose at home.
No, normally they never do. No.
No.
I'd say, to be fair, Lyon, when they have both back from injury, their Charnier, their fly half, and
Yeah,
the scrum half, it's a different team. But I still think Bayonne at home.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Toulon versus Montauban. Don't need to discuss this one very much either.
No, 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 definitely not. Yeah.
Toulon for people who are new.
Yeah.
Cast versus Perpignan again. Oh, this is kind of easy to predict this week, isn't it? I mean, it'll be a big shock if Perpignan get their first win of the season in this game.
I don't think they're going to get a cast at home. Are very, very difficult to beat. Very difficult to beat. So that's a home win.
Yeah. Toulouse versus Racing. I suspect that will be another home win as well. Although didn't Racing beat Toulouse last season?
Yeah, some kind of shock result, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I know Toulouse, it doesn't really matter with them. They're still missing all their internationals. Oh, I can't believe Von Cruz has gone.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, ACL out for the season.
I can't. I mean, he was one of the reasons I watched. Toulouse.
Oh, get
And
well
then just
soon.
breaking it down to Maz's rugby world stuff. But yeah, oh no, he's going to be a huge loss
I
actually.
don't know if you've heard, Maz. Not many people have mentioned it, but apparently I've heard whispers that Antoine Dupont might be back at some point.
Yeah, and he's not going to be back. They were talking about this, but he's not going to be back for this game either. So I think they're going to be 1,000% sure before he
Mm.
comes back. And I've got a feeling he'll be back. We've got what, 2 games before Europe? Yeah, because the European
Because you
games
give me
start.
access to your Canal Plus account, I've been watching all the French adverts and I quite enjoy them. My favorite one is the Peugeot advert with Antoine Dupont in it, where he literally just stands there next to the
Yeah,
car.
there's one of his ads that lasts about 5 or 7 minutes. It could be the Peugeot one. I can't remember. There's that many of them. So yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah, and the whole half time is adverts on the test matches as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And between the anthems, often depending what station it's on, between in an international match, between the anthems and the game starts, you lose an awful lot. You lose an awful lot after the game as well, where players are going around and talking to each other because it's adverts, because they do this block thing. So it's
Mhm.
yeah.
And then finally on
That's
Sunday nights, 14 is hopefully with Robbie Knock on Premier Sports for those in the UK. Pau versus La Rochelle. Probably the game of the week, the one that I'm most looking forward to.
yeah, I think so. And yeah, Poe at home
Definitely.
as and I hope Rog doesn't get his demolition as
So I think we're picking all home wins this weekend. And to be honest, it will be the ones most likely to topple that is probably UBB,
yeah,
unless La Rochelle get a few more players back
yeah.
from France.
Yeah, but even at that, I don't think they're going to. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do the poll. Maybe Stade Francais. Oh, but apart from that,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Thank you very much to everybody for watching slash listening. Merci beaucoup, Madame Maz.
Avec plaisir, Huw.
Merci beaucoup to everybody for listening. Enjoy your rugby, and I hope that everybody's team wins. Bye bye.
Bye bye.